and hose lock and all of that.
Well, Tony gave me one over at Bromley, and that's, well, it is a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Miles the tubing and everything. But
yeah, I think this one's called waterirrigationsystems.com or something. But I mean, it worked out an awful lot cheaper than some of the other stuff that I've had in the past.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I used to install them as part of my gardening business.
Did you?
When I lived in, so I used to go to this place regularly, and the manager there and I became good friends.
Is this when you weren't being a copper, or was this?
No, I retrained.
Were you moonlighting, Tony? Were you moonlighting?
When I'd done my time, I went to college and retrained as a gardener. I retired at 49 from the Met.
Oh.
After 30 years service.
That was PC 49.
And retrained as a gardener. So installing irrigation systems was something I used to do. And I always used to get good advice and good prices. And so when Dave wanted help, I pointed him in that direction.
Ever so helpful now. They really are. Only thing is, he sent me the wrong sprinkler things. They're tapped. The little things are, the nozzles are correct, but there was no little stand pipes or connections to the small pipe, because it's the ones he sent me is for another one. So he's sending me all them out again, all 75 of them out again.
Well, I'll be putting my new system in the next month, so I'll report back to you when it's all done.
Tony, what was the name of the firm you went to for water systems?
City Irrigation Limited.
CC.
City Irrigation.
ST.
No, CIT.
Oh, City.
City Irrigation.
Talk at once.
Ah, that's it. Lovely.
Ian.
Hey.
Good evening.
You want a phone number?
Sorry?
You want a phone number?
Web address, please, Dave.
Web address. That's e.stores@cityirrigation.co.uk.
That's the email address.
Yeah.
He wants the web address, Dave.
Yeah. And I've got mine, Dave, from waterirrigation.co.uk.
Waterirrigation.co.uk.
Yeah, they were very reasonable. You know, the little sprinklers that you get, you know, the little tiny ones, they were about 30 pence each.
Really?
Yeah.
That knocked spots off hose lock, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Fraction of the price.
I've been dreading it.
They look to me like they look like identical when they come.
Hello, Michael.
God, that's nearly as bad as Tony's rooted jokes.
Hello, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah. I still haven't forgiven you for them.
Evening, Michael.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hi, Michael.
Are we expecting anyone else, do you think?
I don't think so. Not from our side. Karen's computer's gone kaput, so she can't join us.
Right.
This was a couple of weeks ago, I suppose. And I don't know about Patricia or no, Julian was going to come in.
Oh yeah.
If they're obeying the 6 o'clock for thing, they've got to be indoors anyhow, haven't they?
What?
You know, the 6 o'clock watch it where men have all got to be in their own homes.
Yeah.
The water systems, I wrote down waterirrigationsystems.co.uk.
No.
Is it water irrigation solutions?
No, hang on, let me find it.
Or just waterirrigation.co.uk?
Waterirrigation.co.uk.
Got it. They've got a clearance on at the moment. Save up to 75%. Yeah.
Really good value.
Yeah, that's good. Because I'm just about to embark doing I've got 3 sections. I didn't do it last summer because it was a bit wet.
Flood damage stocks very cheap.
It's a bit flushed.
Nigel,
Oh.
you need a sunny day to straighten out the pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No point doing it when it's cold.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually had a overhead system on catenaries for a long time, and I saved a lot of that. So hopefully I'll be able to do that, and it is fairly straight.
Okay.
Yeah, the pipes
Stored behind the new.
Shall we start? I can see a tree. So shall we start with Ian? Ian, would you like to talk about your tree?
That's unfair, picking on me.
Who shall we pick on then?
No, pick on Ian. That tree looks nice.
It does.
Mm.
It's one of my show hints. It's a white pine, grown on its own rootstock. Got it, what, 4 or 5 years ago from Holland? Must be about that now. Styled by me. It was one of those sort of that you can get fairly cheap. The growing had largely been done. It just needed styling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my attempt at it was sort of a low sweeping pine.
Mm. It's nice.
Very
But
nice.
it's not grafted.
No,
No,
it's on its own rootstock. I'm a bit. I suppose I'm a bit picky like that. There's no real sense. On the black pine rootstock, it's far more vigorous. But I actually do quite like how fragile the white pine looks on its own rootstock. It doesn't have the same depth of color or vigor.
It's Julian.
No, not grafted. Grown
Hi, Julian.
from seed, I believe.
Ah,
Okay.
Nice.
That's it.
very nice.
It's a shame we haven't got a Zoom facility because it looks a bit distant from here and it's slightly
You can
blurred.
hold it.
Yeah.
Zoom it.
Let's zoom in.
The old-fashioned way.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a zoom. Look at that.
manual Zoom.
Yeah. Oh yes, looks nice.
Oh yeah. Lots more movement than I thought.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's very natural at the same time.
Actually holding it gives you more of a perspective
Mhm.
when it comes to size. Thank you.
Oh.
Lovely. Okay. So has anybody else got any trees to show us?
I've got a couple that I've taken photographs of if you want to have a look.
Yes,
Yeah.
please, Alistair.
Let's have a look. So
I will say I've got a video if anyone's interested. I nipped up to
Oh,
the
right.
shade tunnel because I've been repotting like mad. So everything I've been repotting's been going in the shade tunnel if anyone's interested.
Okay.
But I'll do that later.
All right. Well, let's look at Alistair's first and we'll come back to you.
Oh, hello, Julian. Didn't see you there.
Oh no, I'm just
Good
in the
evening.
corner.
Hey, Julian.
Little Jack Horner sitting there.
You need more light in there.
But I do manage.
No, it's all right.
Yes.
Yeah. 2, 3. Some of them have disappeared.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so this is a collected larch that I purchased at the again at the club auction in 2017. I think this one was. The chap had grown it for quite a long time. I've got about 20 different photographs on prints from when he first dug it up to when it was potted up. So that was it as it came out of the auction and sat on my bench until the spring. And then very respectfully, I cut off the branch.
Oh dear.
So yeah, I know.
Well, that thick one, you take. Did you take the thick one off? Yeah.
Because I thought it, and it's always one of those things, isn't it? When somebody spent a long, long time growing a branch, and you think, I can understand, you know, the amount of effort put into it, but I didn't like it. So
It's actually thicker than the main trunk above it, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was never going to get
Nah.
any thinner.
Yeah.
And it kind of put, because as you say, it's almost as thick as a trunk, and it kind of puts the tree out of perspective. The tree is about 22 inches high, so it's quite a large,
Yeah.
reasonable sized tree. So
Lovely shadow on the back of it.
Sorry?
Lovely shadow behind it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
beautiful.
didn't realise that when I took it. I might just just do that one. So I gave it a bit of a trim. I cut the branch back and treated the dead wood, and then I let it basically grow for 2 years. So this was taken in 2020, last year, so February 2020, where I've done some wiring. I brought the branch down on the left, and just basically tried to get some ramification going. We did also have a little trip up to Herons, so having won the lottery, and I bought a new pot for it, which I thought was more in keeping with it.
Yeah.
And then last Friday, very busy day, I did some more wiring. So I ginned the top, so the branch that was sticking right out at the top, I ginned. I noticed there was also some more dead branches and dead wood in amongst all that. So I've stripped that back. I haven't put any lime sulfur or anything on it at the moment, and basically just brought the branches down, put a bit more of an aged appearance onto it. And once it starts budding out, I will repot it again and cut back. It's almost lifting itself out the pot, being quite a shallow pot. It's producing a plentitude of roots.
Larch, doesn't it?
A larch, yes, yeah, European larch. So
Yeah, I
Is
meant
that
the
a-
roots
Is
lift them up.
that a cliquer pot?
sorry,
Is that a cliquer pot?
I don't know. I don't know. I think
It looks very similar to.
yeah, it was. Peter Chan said it was a local potter that he had made some pots.
Yeah, I won't be there.
Or he thought it was that.
Yeah, it's
And he
lovely.
just had them in a corner as well. You know, they were the cheapest of that size that he had. So, but it stays outside, so you know it's frost proof. It seems to do all right. And yeah, just
I think it's a good move to take that branch off or turn it to.
yeah. I mean, I think it made quite a large difference to the.
Yeah, it has.
Certainly the perspective as well. It throws the perspective much more into focus.
That root isn't quite so prominent in the first picture, Alistair, is it?
No, being a deeper, you can see where the green. I mean, it had a lot of moss on it as well.
Yeah.
But that moss clump is actually the root.
Yeah.
But yes, I think I've moved it over slightly as well.
Right.
So I've altered the angle slightly. So yeah. And I mean, it's very nice Navari on it. It's got lots of all the way around the trunk. There are a nice shapely roots. So yeah, so I'm pleased with it. It's coming on. It's behaving itself. Oh,
Lovely, thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Ian, have you got your video handy?
Yeah.
Do you want to run it now?
You picking on me this evening or something?
No, I'll tell you what then. I'll show you my my video. I've got a video to show you if I can make it work. Let's see if I can. Go out of there. Go out. Films and TV. Here we are.
Oh,
Mike.
Michael, come in.
Oh, another Michael.
I can't see everybody, so I don't know who it
Oh,
is.
it's Mike.
yeah.
Mike. Hang on. We can only see the top of your head. I mean, the bottom of your head. You've chopped your head off.
Yeah, all right.
Ah, it's better.
Move
You've
your
got
camera
no
down.
audio at the moment, Michael.
We can only
No.
see your mouth and downwards.
Yeah, we can't see you at all. Yeah.
Sorry, I'll sort it in a minute. Carry on.
Yeah.
All right, this is one
Lovely.
of my group of buddleia that I've been growing for several years from cuttings. And I saw those of you went to John's before the lockdown started will have seen he had one in a round bowl with the brick dust type finish on the bowl, and it was in flower.
Mm.
And it was slightly similar to this, but the disadvantage, as John mentioned last time, was that you have to rebuild it every year.
Yeah.
That's the nature of buddleia, but you can manipulate it. And unfortunately, the best looking trunk, which is this one, is the variety is Pink Pagoda, and the flowers on it are quite big normally. But if you grow it on to a decent size and then stop feeding it, it won't be as vigorous flowering wise. I've just repotted this, so I'll show you the complete 360 degrees.
Mhm.
And you can let me know what you think you would do with it next. I think this bit here is dead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
So
what
that
I
will-
thought.
If
Tony.
it,
I
that will
looked
come
at
off.
that, thought, it's a shame that bit's dead, I think.
Yeah, it is. I might leave it on.
Yeah. Mm.
And I'm going to shape these cut marks
Yeah.
there and there.
Yeah.
It's got some fairly nice roots. I took a branch out here. It almost fell out.
I'd be tempted to take the vertical branch off the base of the trunk.
Mhm.
This one.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't really add anything.
No.
Quite the reverse, actually. It actually distracts you from what is its best
Yeah.
feature, trunk.
It conflicts with the angle of the trunk, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got lovely movement, particularly the reverse.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
it looks like about it.
Remove.
Hmm.
Vertical. Branch. Good.
Tony,
Yeah.
is buddleia a bit like maple, where you've got to cut it with a stub and allow the dye back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I thought it was.
Yeah. I must have, blimey. I think I've got about 10 altogether of different,
Yeah.
not all different varieties, but I think this is the only one of Pink Pagoda I've got. But I've got Nanho Purple, which is, Nanho apparently means small. The flowers are much smaller, but the trunk isn't as strong as this, and it never will be because it's a smaller variety. But I've got 11 different varieties altogether, but most of them won't ever be suitable for bonsai. They'll never have attractive enough trunks.
Yeah.
I've got another one called White Profusion, which has a good trunk, and I might find a pot for that one. But they're in ordinary plastic flower tubs at the moment, just growing on. But
I mean, I've never grown them. I've never grown buddleia as a bonsai, but could you treat it like a Japanese apricot and have lots of shari on it and dead wood and various sort of holes and so on, just to, because it looks quite rugged, doesn't it? And that's a sort of Japanese apricot shape. You can imagine that if it was an apricot with
Yeah.
a lot of dead wood. I don't know how. As I say, I've never grown it as a bonsai, so I don't know how it would respond to stripping bark off it and so on.
I see Alistair's really getting into trunk work now. And
Well, I've got a new die grinder, so I've got to make, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for that, chaps.
Tony, how are you going to stop it growing up? All those new branches growing straight up as they do if they're in the ground.
Say that again.
How are you going to stop it? All those thin branches just going straight up as they do if it's normally in the ground.
You can't stop it. You could. It's pruned now back to the lowest bud, and you have to leave a pair of leaves on, or a pair of buds.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the branch dies. They're so mechanically obvious, you know.
That new branch will probably just go straight up, won't it?
But this one,
all of them, all those new branches,
they
the
would
new growth.
Except this one. This one here has got 3 or 4 buds, all in different directions, almost horizontal.
Okay.
Which is odd. Some of these don't have a bud on, but they've got tiny little nodules here. Look, just here, and most of them have. There's little nodules here, buds that might break. But it's just a case of waiting. They're just sitting there, just taking up space, but they don't need the space, so I'm quite happy. I'm very patient. And
Julian's the expert on Badlia.
Pardon?
Julian's the expert on Badlia.
What's that?
You're the expert on Badlia, aren't you, Julian?
I don't think so.
You have. You've got an absolutely beautiful one that you broke off and grew it for years in an ordinary flower pot. Then you made it into a bonsai.
Oh, that one. Yes, that
brought
was
it to a
years
club
ago,
a couple
wasn't
of times.
Yes,
Haven't you?
you're right. Yes, that's a long time ago now, Dave.
Well, I do remember some things. I'd remember that and my name tonight.
Right.
Well, that's better, Dave, isn't it? David, that's good.
How did you get yours to be? Because yours was quite compact.
Who are you talking to?
Pardon?
Are you talking to me, Dave?
I'm still talking to you. You're the expert on Badlia.
I only had one. It was quite a big one.
I know. How did you? Yours was quite compact. How did you stop it from growing straight up, which is what they always want to do?
Oh, this one didn't.
No.
I had it for about 15 years in the garden,
Yeah.
and then I put it just into compost. So I didn't do anything exceptional there, David.
Have you still got it as a bonsai?
No, I haven't. It got a bit too big,
Ah.
and I was sort of thinking about things, and I gave it to a neighbour because it went very, very tall, and I thought it looked a very nice tree, but I wouldn't like to keep it small as a bonsai.
No, I thought you'd worked out how to do it. That's why I was asking Tony, and Tony doesn't know himself, does he? I thought you may have some secrets. But obviously, yours grew tall, as they do.
Yes.
Oh, well, good luck with that, Tone.
Well, the advice generally for Budleia is to cut them twice. So this is its first cut, which you cut in February, and then you cut again at the end of May.
Right. Okay.
Or if you leave it, you'll get one flush of flowers that will be quite big.
Yeah.
If you cut it again in May, you get a if there are flowers, you get a flush later on, which are smaller flowers. So that's what my plan is.
Right. Okay.
So, but I'll bring it back later in the year, and you can have a look to see how it's developed.
Mm. Mm.
The Chelsea chop.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you are. So I'll stop
Okay.
sharing for now. I can't. Ian's idea about Adrian's idea about the having a blind that you pull down for your photographs.
Yeah.
On my greenhouse, there's nothing to fix it to, because the window behind here, all this bubble wrap here, is actually the construction of the greenhouse. These are the main structures, and this piece here. See these strings? That one there and that one there. That's the window. The window is 4 meters long, and you wind it up and down with a handle. And the only cross piece that I could fix a blind to moves up and down.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would
build
be
a frame up from the bench to take the blind.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that.
Couldn't you fix some a batten between those?
Yeah, you could put
the main tubes with some pipe clips or something.
Yeah, I could.
And then screw the blind to that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's the beam across the top of my shed. No, just
No,
tied.
we can't see it.
Can't.
No.
Or you can.
Can't.
No.
Oh, hello, Colin.
I thought somebody said they could see it.
No.
None of you.
No.
No.
Let's go back. Let's go back and share then. Perhaps I'm not sharing properly. Right, let's share the screen.
Got to share twice.
Oh, here we are. Let's try this.
Hi, Michael. We're not neglected.
Can you see it?
Nearly. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so that's in my shed. I've
Yeah.
attached it, fix it onto the cross beam at the top.
Yeah.
And then just put a table in front with a black bit of landscape fabric. And then you can just wind it up and down when you want it.
Good idea.
Works for trees. So when I'm in there working on trees, if I want to take a picture, it's just quickly down with the blind. If the table's up already, then you just pop it on there and you get a decent picture.
Yeah. Very
Is
good.
that natural light on it, or have you got a spotlight?
Yeah, I've got two spotlights at the back of that beam, as not that beam, the next beam. There's got two spotlights on it as well. Yeah.
You've just saved me emailing you and asking you for a photo of the blind. I was going to do that. Right, I've got that.
I used just a blackout blind. Is that what you used, Dave?
Yeah, it's a blackout blind. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Nice tree.
I've lost where I am now. I've got to go back to. How I do this? Let's see. Can you see this?
Can't see
yet.
any difference.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I think what I'll have to do is stop the share and go back and try and sort myself out. Right, let's try sharing the screen again. Right, okay. Let's go up here. Can you see this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not the tree you were looking at.
No.
No.
But it is one. It is one that I was going to show, and I thought, well, I'll go back and find some old photographs of it before I get where it is now. This is my Katsura,
Yeah.
and this couldn't find a date on this, but I reckon it's about a good 15 years back, and that's the dreadful pot that it came in, and then this is in 2015. Slightly better pot, and then starting to get there then.
Is that spring or coming in autumn?
Yeah, that's spring.
Yeah.
This is a picture taken today. This is in its Gordon Duffet pot, and I've just repotted it a couple of days ago. So, and you can see there's the black screen, and mean, it doesn't have to be black, but I happen to, for this sort of picture, I rather like black. It shows
It works well, doesn't it?
it does work well.
Mm.
So that's my Katsura, just as it's coming on now. Looking, I have to say, it's become one of my very favourite trees because it has that lovely movement and nice taper as well. Although I have to say, the taper came about because of some dieback actually on it, on the top there.
So John Pitt pot.
No, this is Gordon Duffett pot.
Gordon Duffett, yeah.
Yeah. And this is the photo you may have seen last year when I got a silver award for that in the virtual show. So that was last spring. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you a little bit of the history of this one.
Nice.
Very nice.
Probably had it 15, maybe more than that, but at least 15 years anyway. So I'm hoping for another display like that very soon.
Yeah.
Now, if I
Very,
was
very nice.
yeah, I've got some other stuff I could show you as well. Yes. Now, Ian, you had your Kiyohime.
Yes.
So I thought I'd fish out a picture of my Kiyohime that's just coming out. I haven't gone for the usual broom style on mine. I've gone for a more, well, sort of almost like an informal upright. Again, I've got some old pictures here. That's as it is now. Not repotted this year. I did it last year. Yeah, just going back, I had a disaster with this probably about, trying to think, about 6 or 8 years ago when something fell on it and broke.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yes, a whole bloody shelf came off and it came down. The hornbeam took off the back half, because you know how brittle Kiyohime are.
Yeah.
Took off the back of it, and I lost a main branch on there. So you can see here that I've done a thread graft by whipping that, taking a branch from here. Can you see my little arrow?
Yeah.
And it's gone. I've done an approach graft there, and then it goes right round and through. Well, I ended up using the one that went right round and through. It's worked. It's worked. Tree. This is the tree. I think this is about 2016. It's got a nice root base on it.
Yeah, very nice.
There you are. Nice root base there. This came from Dundry. You know the place over at Dundry originally?
Yeah.
Trying to think the guy's name, but I got it off of him. And this is a picture taken, this is my earliest picture of it, which is probably, well, it's at least 10 years old. It could be 15, I don't know. But it always did have a good root base. Oh, that's something totally different. But yeah, another nice tree. Yeah.
That I find very interesting because my Kiyohime is a bit root sensitive, so I've tend to have stuck with a deeper pot.
All right, have you?
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how shallow you can go.
I've always grown mine in shallow pot, but like you can see there, that's going back 10 or 12 years at least.
Oh, it gives me hope.
Well, you wouldn't stand a chance in the tree of the month with deep pot.
Hey, no, Mike, different. It's a different club, Mike. It's all right in this stuff.
Typical.
I like it.
Yeah, it's coming on. It's a real shame that I lost a huge part of the back. But you know,
Can you repeat that sequence again for the Taunton Club next month?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I won't take these off here. And
the branch I lost was at the back. So in a sense, it's not too bad. But yeah, it's coming on.
I share your pain.
Hey,
Uh,
what are the rings around the base of the trunk, just above the Nabari?
what here?
No, up a little bit. That's it. No, up a bit.
Going
There.
up?
No, down. Down about very
What do
close
you
to where your cursor is. There's some two rings.
2 rings?
Yeah,
Do you mean?
The white.
white ring.
Do you mean the change in colour?
No, there's a white mark. That looks
Yeah.
like a wire mark.
What there?
You do a close up again of the.
One of your
Let's go
closer
look at
ones.
the close up.
Yeah, in the close up.
It's not a wire
That
mark.
one.
It's just there.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. It's not a wire mark. I've never wired that. Not as far as I know, anyway.
might be a root.
And unless it's something to do with the original, I suppose it's possible it's grafted. I don't know. It's certainly no obvious graft.
No.
Mm.
Okay.
So there you are.
Yeah.
Clearly, that's it, heading into autumn. Now, I have something else for you folks if you like. I don't know if you remember last year, there was a guy in Southwick who was suddenly selling lots of trees. Mike Cooper and I went up there, and I bought a load of stuff off him. This is I've just repotted this and done some wiring work on it, but this was a hornbeam that I bought off of him. It was in a horrible plastic crate when I bought it, so I've just repotted it, so I was quite pleased with that. This was another tree I bought, which I think is a southern beech. It's a rather weird little thing. I wasn't sure when I bought it whether it was Arctic birch or southern beech, but I'm pretty sure it's southern beech. I mean, the two look rather similar. Even when they're in leaf, they look quite similar. But this thing's only about 3 or 4 inches high. It's yeah. Another one that I got, it was a small trident maple, and I got this for 30 quid off of him. And that's sorry, gone back to there. And yeah, the root base of that is about 2 inches across. So I packed it right back, as you can see, to start again with it. But I think it'd be nice. It's got nice root base, but like I said, I got it for 30 quid from them. So
movement.
Very vigorous growers.
Yes, yeah,
Very strong.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So you've seen the last picture, so I think that's me done.
Oh, lovely. Thanks, eh?
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Yeah, dear. Right, let's go back and look. Yeah, this one. Can you see that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, the picture's chopped the edge off of it but I bought that at the last Swindon show for a tenner.
Really?
And my other half cleaned it all up and polished it, and it's come up really nicely, actually. It looks better when it's got, if I just run through, get back to where that maple's on it. It'd be the last picture. There we are. Then it looks really nice then. So that was 10 quid.
I've got one that I bought for a £5 that needs doing. If I give it to you,
I'm sure Cass she'll polish it up for you and sell it back to you for a tenner. There you go. Right, okay.
I don't know if this is going to work because it's there we go. Can you see anything?
Yeah.
This is a web page I cobbled together this morning, and I'm awful about keeping notes about what I do, so I started on this one. A friend of mine a couple that've got 30 acres of larches in a place called Berrinaba that overlooks the sea. So there it was.
It's
Point
gone.
out-
We've lost your picture.
Disappeared.
Yeah.
Has it?
Mm.
We've
Bugger.
got a white pole down the middle of the.
I'll stop the share. There we go. Sorry about that, chaps and ladies.
Hmm. Looking forward to that.
Worth a try.
Hmm.
Okay.
And
So
give you the it's actually on the web at the moment. That's why I was trying to show it coming down.
right.
Sorry, Jeff.
Jeff, did you have a tree to show?
Yeah, Julian, I've got a picture that Julian sent me. We'll do that one first, and then
Right.
I'll go through mine.
All right.
Can we see? Can you see my?
Not yet.
You can see your cursor.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
There you go.
Okay, now, right.
Any minute.
He'll be there.
Have you done a disc cleanup lately, did Jeff?
Yeah.
Because yours is very slow.
You've done a big cleanup. A defrag often works afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take it at night.
Mhm.
Hold on a minute. I'll try again. Might be quite a big image. I don't know. No, it's not.
168.
Yeah.
What I found helps is calling up the image
Yay.
first.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Call up the image before the meeting and minimize it and put it in your tray in the
That's
bottom.
what I did.
Oh, no, you were clicking on it as we were going through.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is do that before the meeting, minimize it into the tray in the bottom line so that when you want to share screen, all you need to do is click on the bottom.
Julian, your tree.
Yeah. It's a small Scots pine, which
Okay.
you've probably seen for ages and ages. And what I'm finding now is it's getting a bit fluffy all over. And I
Mm.
need to start taking things off to make it so you can start going through it and looking as it's open. And I get three pictures there, and to see really, for you to have a look and see how much should I take off from the top bit, from the top bits, or rather in the middle as well, because it's getting really quite cramped in there. And I haven't had a lot of experience with Scots pines. And I don't want to know whether I'm going to sort of cut it all off in one go, or whether you can help me to sort of give me a few ideas as to how it should go.
Yeah.
Have you done any needle pulling on it?
No.
Just pull out some of the, reduce some of the, well, that's what I do on mine, is when it gets like that, go along each branch and maybe take half the needles out, just
Yeah. In
pull
yours.
them out.
Yes.
And then you'll get both back budding, but also it cleans up the tree, allows light in. I mean, that's generally what I do.
Yeah.
You've got great trunk there, lovely movement in the trunk, but it needs more structure in the branches, Julian.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean that's what I was thinking
So you
today
need
when
to-
I was
you need
thinking
to-
about this.
You need to
Look
select
at
the
it.
ones that you want and wire them into place, and then remove the ones that are superfluous, really. There's probably too many there, which is, I can see you've got lots of little ones. Certainly on the left there's 3 or 4 small branches, isn't there? But yeah, I think you need to select the branches that you want and wire them out and start getting foliage pads on them, and take out some of the stuff that you don't need. And as Alistair says, a bit of needle plucking would help, because it would lighten the whole top of it.
Oh yes, yes. I mean that's. I was just wondering really as well. I haven't really done one of these because I've never really had something like this. And so you're saying I just get the needles and just pull them out, which I want.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
gently
the
tug
old
them
one.
out.
The old needles.
Pull the needles behind the flush, not close to the end of the
No.
flush, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the old needles you want to put on.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say about Scots pine, generally, as an image, is it tends to be a better image with less foliage. It's one of those trees that less is more.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah.
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 so
absolutely.
I should sort of get cutting first and then do things later. To sort of
Are
open it up.
you, Julian, are you able to bring it to the next Guggleton workshop?
I could possibly think about that.
Because
On the fir-
if
the
you
first-
can, then I'd be very happy to give you a hand with it.
on the 1st of April, Julian.
Yeah.
I have to think about that, but I'll see how it goes.
Because I've got quite a few Scots pine and I really like them. I like working on them. So
Yeah.
if you want to bring it down to one of the workshops, I'll try and give you a hand with it.
Yes.
I'll bring some as well, Adrian. You can show me as well. Sit and watch.
Okay, we'll have a Scots pine day, shall we?
Yeah.
I think they're fabulous.
I'm not
Because having a close look at it, it looks in very good health.
Yeah.
Mm.
It is. I mean, there's nothing on it except for green, and it really is in a good condition.
How big is that? What size is the tree?
It's about a foot long.
A foot. Okay.
Was that all?
Yes, about
Quite
this big.
small.
Ah, I thought it was bigger. So.
That's very good for a Scots.
Mm.
Gosh, maybe it's a bit small, maybe that size perhaps.
I'm having a deep attack of envy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that movement in the trunk. That's very very good.
If you remember, Jeff,
Yeah.
some time ago we had there was some coming along, wasn't there? And as we went both to collect it and pick it up, I picked it just before you did.
Right. That's probably
That was
right.
years ago, though.
Yeah.
It was years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well done, Julian.
Up the workers.
Okay.
Where was that, Julian?
That was at least when we were on the roundabout there. And it could even be before that, actually. I don't remember. Do you know, Jeff?
No.
I think it was before that as well.
What, in Bell Street?
Yes.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Well, it couldn't have been before that because that's our first one. We didn't go anywhere else.
I said it must have been that actually when I got that, because somebody was saying, you know, you can have these, and so I just went to pick it, and you just missed it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. No, well.
Keep rubbing it in, Julian.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay.
I think that tree's got quite a bit of potential, Julian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay then. Right.
Oh.
That's my backdrop. It was a rush. It was a.
I don't think Adrian meant to do that.
It's a rush.
Jeff, what
Jeff,
are you on your bed tonight, Jeff?
the best I could do in the time.
Jeff, what are
Anyway,
you going to put on your bed tonight?
Don't let Pat see it. She'll want to iron it.
right. This is my prune the smoothie. And I want
that's
to
nice.
change. I want to change the style, the angle. I'm probably going to put it back in the same pot. But I tried moving it about a little bit. So that was the other side. I'm also going to prune it quite hard. It's going to get a hard prune. So I changed the angle a little bit.
That angle's better.
Yeah.
Right. And then I went that way a little bit.
Nice.
Think I like the other one better.
Yeah,
That's
the other
roughly
first
the same.
angled one.
That's a little bit more further tilted.
Yeah. No, I
Then
don't
Oh,
I tried that, which I don't think works.
think-
No.
no.
Obviously, I'm thinking of a cascade
mm.
or semi-cascade. But where are we? I'll go back to the. That was the one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
I think that works. It's
yeah.
I think it's a better side as well than the other side,
Yeah.
front wise. I don't know how much Nabari there is here.
Okay.
I've not taken it out yet.
Where'd you get this from, Jeff?
I got it from John.
Oh, yeah.
5 years ago,
All right.
I suppose, something like that. It's in need of repotting. I wanted to show this and just have a few thoughts as to whether I could. See, that's quite.
Yeah, that's a nice
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best one, I think, Jeff.
I think that's.
and that way round as well. So I've
Yeah.
got it that way round. Yeah. Okay.
It needs a definite haircut after the flowering, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Needs a definite haircut so that them trimmed down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does.
2/3.
There's still one or two buds, but on that growth there's actually some leaf buds,
Mm.
and there's somewhere else. There's some leaf buds. Not sure where there, but there's some leaf buds starting to push, and there's some buds not opened just there, but they'll just have to come off. But I'm probably going to do it tomorrow. But he's going to get a hard prune.
Yeah.
Proper down here. A real hard prune. Which is what Bjorn says to do. Prune it hard and then prune it again later on after the first flush of growth.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
I
very
don't
good.
know if you can pick this up from my microphone, but
Yeah.
the rain on the roof here is
I'm not
unbelievable.
hearing it.
It's blowing a hoolie outside.
Is it?
You guys are going to get it in about 2 hours, I reckon.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Well,
I
that's
found my
me.
larch now, Jeff. Can you see the 2 trees, sir?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's straight out the ground. And so I stuck it in a plastic pot and gave it a definite haircut. So we're into a real formal upright. What's that? 7, 8 months, 9 months later. 6th of July 18, 12th of September 18. Not sure what to do at the top, which subsequently died.
Right.
I did pot it up, and as you can see, it's a square pot, but unfortunately I made a complete dog's dinner of with the Nabari, so next time it's got to come around another way. Yes, I've got to gin that. Do you think I ought to pull these down, all of them? They're fairly thin though. That's a thickish one though.
I think most of them should be pulled down.
Yeah.
For the lower ones, and then gradually raise them up as they go up the
You look-
tree. Well, that's-
Yeah. Yeah,
It
you,
looks like a young tree, doesn't it?
yeah, very, yeah.
With the branches going this way, they need to.
you,
they
you
need
might
to
might need to pull the gins down as well,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're,
or cut
It
them
was
off and stick them on the other way.
I think
It was about 8 foot when I took it out of the ground.
Oh, crikey.
Wow.
Wow.
As I said, there's 30 acres of these.
Oh,
I think I'd be inclined to remove one or two of the branches as well. You want one or two too many branches.
Some of these in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got a couple there almost opposite,
yeah,
yeah.
almost opposite each other in two
Yeah.
places
There you
actually.
can see, yeah.
although, I mean, it depends on what final image you want. If you want more gins, it might be worth keeping some of them and just letting them extend.
Yeah.
And then
They're fairly
the
thin,
problem with,
They're fairly thin, these here.
yeah, the problem with larch is they've got thick, very thick bark. So
Yeah.
once you take that off, you're left with a little matchstick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, if it was my tree, I'd choose which ones I was going to keep and let the opposite ones extend as much as possible and wire them down as well. And then
I have thought about chopping it off there, sticking
Yeah.
it at an angle and then developing this one here,
all right.
because that branch is a lot thicker than a lot of the others.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so cutting my losses and then doing that. You can't see it, but I'm actually bending a new top with wire.
Yeah.
I had 2 photographs this morning, but my phone refused to talk to my PC, so I can't show you, unfortunately.
I mean, the problem with larches is they thicken up so quickly. You've always got to have another branch waiting to replace it.
Gotcha.
So it's
Yeah, because they don't back bud that well.
no.
No.
I'm new to the species, so I'm just playing around with this one, really.
Yeah.
But the
Something
trunks develop nicely.
completely,
nice.
something completely different in terms of image is I'd be looking at whether or not to actually sacrifice most of the lower branches and go for a lightning strike Garamiki down one side
Yeah.
with the top foliage, giving it quite a natural image.
And then a big sort of scar down the...
So you could actually use that branch, the top branch you were talking about removing, use that as the start of the shari, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Then
Would
down into
Would
a
I cut the
Garamiki.
top off as well, or just...
No.
No.
Because that's you'd want the top foliage to show the ginning,
Yes.
and then the Sharamiki. Obviously, you'd then want to sacrifice the lower branches.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But it's the problem is until you actually put your hands on it, it's all a bit of a guesswork. But I think you've got quite a strong tree in terms of image already. Something like that is very easily gained because the tree already gives you it in to a large part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is another option, and that heavy branch on the left at the top,
This one.
if it's pliable enough, you could bring that in as your new top.
And chop the top off. All
Yeah.
this up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's another option. That's
Actually,
something.
that would make a nice taper, wouldn't it? If I can pull
Yes.
that up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Rather than sacrifice it.
I've got to rotate it because of the Nabari, and that's got to be dealt with, that chop there.
Yeah.
So it depends how that bit ties in with the Nabari.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen.
Lots of possibilities.
Yeah, excellent. Right, stop share.
Ending, but I won't be looking at getting any tree particularly in shape. I might do that oak group, which we're going to do at the next Scuggleton. And I've got a large group, which I've got to look at. I only planted it up last year on that big piece of slate. And I've got a twin trunk. I've got three bound together to make it look like a triple trunk. got a number of other smaller trees, and I've got a double trunk. But for some reason, and I'm not quite sure how it's going to develop, but one of the trunks of the double trunk has died. Is that normal? And you know, it's a big trunk. They're like 3/4 of an inch across.
Not normally. That's not normal, really.
No, that's what I thought.
No.
See, one trunk is, well, it's all budding up and everything now. But I noticed halfway through the year last year, it looked a bit ragged, but there's no sign of any buds on it at all this year.
Did you
Yeah,
say this is
sure.
large? Is this large, Dave? Did you
Large,
say?
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you repotted it? When did you last repot it,
We
Dave?
planted it up last year.
No, when did you repot it?
Last year.
But
Yeah,
it was
what-
collected,
Yeah, January, February.
Oh, probably it's February or March. I got it in my book. February or March.
The thing with larch is repotting. The timing of repotting can be very, very critical for larch. They come over as a bit of a thug tree, but repotting, they're very, very root sensitive. Generally speaking, it's better to repot them when they are completely dormant. I mean, completely dormant.
I think it was.
Rather than doing them as you would with an ordinary deciduous, which is as they're just about to break bud. And
Yeah,
I do
especially the older ones.
yeah. The older they get, the more tricky they get around the root.
All right.
I've just put a group together, larch group together of 11 trees in a seed tray. And from the ones I collected with Chris Thomas last year, and probably of the 11, 3 or 4 had vine weevil in.
Oh,
Yeah.
What I've done with one of them that had quite a nice trunk was I stood it in a jug of diluted Clonex and left it overnight and potted it up with my fingers crossed. Otherwise, I shall end up with an even number in the group and have to start adding next year.
Well, you can always take another one out.
Yeah, that's the option. Yeah, I'd rather not.
Actually, talking about forest, there was a really, really good video on YouTube. Corin Tomlinson did a forest, and the way he did it is completely different to anything I've ever seen done before. He got his tray, he sorted his trees out first. He had 30 odd trees. He filled the tray up with compost. I don't know, a soil-based compost, I don't know what it was, whatever he uses. And he just planted the trees in this compost. He didn't wire them in, he did nothing like that at all. And I was thinking as he was going along, I think, this isn't going to work, but it did. And he looked really good. It's worth having a look.
Peter
Greenwood
Chan's done one the same. And he plants his up in a seed box with just shoved in a bit of earth put in between and lets that grow on for a year or two till they knit. Then he lifts the whole thing out completely and puts them on whatever he's going to stand them on.
Yeah.
So there's no wiring involved or anything.
Yeah. I don't, who was in, you weren't all in, were you? There's a Zoom meeting next week on Thursday. Chris Thomas, it's either Twickenham or the UKBA. And I've got the link. So if you want the link, I'm not going to send it to everybody, but if you want it, I can let you have the link to get in. It's Thursday evening. I think it starts at 7.
Yeah, it's a large
and he's
group.
doing forest planting
Larch
as well.
forest.
Yeah, sorry?
Larch forest.
Yeah. So, but that'll be worth watching as well.
Yeah.
But,
Do we just email you, Jeff, or?
I'll send it to Aid, and if Aid asks, if you ask Aid, he'll send it to you.
Okay.
All right, that's the easy way.
Well
Then
volunteered, Aid.
I can send it to Dave or Julian or
Oh, I'm going to have one as well.
yeah. All right.
I'd like one.
Yeah, okay. I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
I was taught by John Trott years ago, and I just follow his formula using, is it script?
Yeah.
Stuff that you put panels together with.
Oh yeah.
In the bottom of the tray, and then using a sort of waxed thread, which you use for making necklaces you get from the craft shop, and just instead of wire, poke them through the holes in the bottom. And what I've found is to pair up the ends, because once you put the compost in, you haven't got a clue where the strings are. I've used coloured electric tape. I've got 7 different colours, and I tape the ends of the strings to the sides of the seed tray so that I know which one to pull and tie up. The only trouble is I had put too many in, so I had 1 pair left over. I thought I'll leave it there just in case I need to put another tree in later. But that's the way John taught me. We didn't mention coloured tapes, but and that's the way I've. Dave, I think you've all seen the small large group and the big one.
I've done it that way, but this looked so easy.
It's 10 times easy, because that was how we did my one on that piece of slate, that twine. And it was so flipping fiddly.
It is fiddly.
Yeah, I had it. So I put a bamboo matrix in the bottom, which I stuck with epoxy glue to the base of the slate, and then I tied them in with those bits of string. Oh, what a 2 and 8 bit going up. Well, Jeff had 4 hands. I had my feet and my hands, and we still got them all mixed up. But the way I saw Peter Chan do it, he just bunged them all in this planter. And if he didn't want it there, he pushed it over, wasted a bit more soil in, and just left it. If they wanted a bit crazy angles, he put them at crazy angles. If he wanted a footpath, he just shoved a bit of earth in. It just was so easy to do it that way.
That's the way I did it. You know these blue mushroom trays you see at veg shops?
Yeah.
One of those, I either use a couple of layers of cornflake packets or an old tea towel to line it, stick the soil in, just as you were saying, Dave, and then you can angle all the trees, pank it down hard and walk away for 2 years.
Yeah, that's it.
A solid mass.
Yeah, it's beautiful, because when you actually plant that on whatever you're going to do it on, you've got a sort of a natural hill in the thing, which is it's difficult to do that when you're planting as individual trees on something.
It's
you can't make a hill.
It's all right as long as you haven't got to put it in the car and take it home with you. As long as you do it at home, that's fine. You
pack it down harder.
Yeah.
No, I thought that's a real. Mind you, I'm a bit of a fan of Peter Chan. I like he's got my style. Bung it in and see what happens. He don't stick to any of the rules. That's you was talking about a tree dying, Tony. He advocates that if you've only got 5 or 7, yes, it's probably important. But if you're planting a forest up with perhaps 20 in, 1 more or 1 less than the odd number doesn't matter anymore, because nobody's going to stand and count them.
He reckons after 8.
Yeah.
Above 8.
Yeah.
2 of my groups have got a dead tree in that I'm leaving there deliberately.
Yeah.
Mine's got 2 dead trees in there.
That's the way it is. Forests are the same, aren't they? Trees die.
Only I've just worked out, thanks to the AA, that it's 180 miles from me to you and back.
Okay.
Yeah, would be, wouldn't it?
60 miles to Taunton and back on its own.
42. 42.
86.2 for me.
How many?
86.2.
Wow.
Okay.
That's at the pub in the middle of your town.
Yeah.
What I was going to suggest is if anyone wants me to stop the video on any tree, say, but I'll point out one group where there is an even number of trees.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll see if we notice it.
Well, it
Oh,
might
no,
be
you'll notice it.
Oh.
Believe you me.
it might be a good idea, a useful idea now to decide for the purpose of judging when we can have Tree of the Month again, as to how many trees it takes before you ignore odd or even.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
we've talked about 8 just now. Somebody said 8. Beyond 8, it doesn't matter. Is that a good number? Because, you know, if it's a close run thing with on points,
You
can't
can't have
use
rules
that.
about
You can't
have
use
rules
that.
about
No,
that.
You can't use that
No.
rule.
It
Okay.
just boils down to whether it looks right or not,
That's all that
Tony.
you're
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah.
It's what it's about. It's what it what it looks
Anyway.
like.
If
okay,
it looks right, it's okay.
okay,
Yeah, the important
Thanks,
thing is to see all the trees.
yes, very nice, Ian.
Oh,
Oh,
it's your
Rebecca.
wife again.
I wish.
She hasn't moved much.
She's running away from you, Ian.
Right. Sorry about the wind and everything, but it was the rain. You'll hear the dog as well. Right, these are all sort of repotted, and they're all in here for just, it's a shaded tunnel. That hasn't been repotted. That's a
Got some
little
lovely trees
elm.
here.
Now there's
Or
Oh, group
There.
of 4. Oh.
group of 4.
It's
So-
not, it's 3 and 1.
It's 3 and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 and 1, not 4.
It
It's
actually
separated.
in shape, canopy shape and everything, it's actually a very, very well developed canopy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
It's
The problem
very,
is,
it's
problem
very
is that-
capability brown.
sorry?
It's very capability brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is that putting more trees in to get an odd number, I run the risk of actually having to reshape the canopy.
Yeah.
Ian, what are they?
Oh, right. Well, that's just a mountain maple.
They're mountain maples. I was just thinking, if you imagined in your head that you added an extra tree there, say on the right,
Yeah.
with the one, I still don't think it would look right.
No, and this is the
I think
problem.
I think it works.
I think it works, and you get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've shied away from sort of bringing it to the club nights or what have you,
Yeah.
simply because it is controversial.
Well, I
Yeah.
think you just
It
got to
means
ask,
depth,
does
I
it
think.
work?
Yeah,
No point in bringing boring trees, Ian.
No.
yeah.
It could be two sets
one-
together, 3 and a 1.
Yeah, that
Well,
one
it's quite a
is
long way away from the other one.
that was what I got the silver like you
yeah.
did, Adi.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's a winter image.
Nice. Yeah.
But she's just about to be repotted. That's a trident.
Oh, right.
Nice.
Wow.
There's a very small. That's a Kashima, small Kashima.
Yeah.
That's a Korean hornbeam. The one behind it is the juniper I had behind me the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's Japanese. That's a mountain maple. This is an interesting one. This one. That's a beech. I collected about 10 years ago, and pretty much from day one decided I wanted to try and make it into a very traditional parkland image.
Yeah.
Of the beach, you know, there's the ones you get in these stately homes and what have you. And she's just, the architecture's about right. It just needs a bit more twig density now, ramification. That's a root over rock. The triple trunk in the background, Jeff will probably recognize that. We had a little club competition with junipers, how to design from a basic nursery stuff. And what else? Root over rock, a little juniper in the background, which I've used as a background image on one evening, I think, as well. A little kiahime and a big kashima. But to continue on. What else can you say? Nothing. That was the dog, that wasn't me. As you can see, it was bloody awful weather. There's an interesting tree coming up shortly, and I'll pause it again. But that's the controversial one. That's the rescue. It's an ex-Manuel tree. Someone bought it at the auction who didn't understand anything about cedars and what have you, and repotted it using shingle off the beach. It had about, in its original form, probably had about 5 times the foliage it's got now. I've been rebuilding it, what, 6-7 years now, something like that, and just trying to get vigor into it. And it's coming along. It's getting to the point where I'm actually getting quite happy with the image.
It's lovely.
But they just take so long to grow. What else we got? Little elm, Japanese white beech. That's a humongous Japanese maple. Hornbeam, trident maple. Anyone like to have a guess as to what that is?
Hard to say.
Duartia.
Sorry?
It's Duartia.
No.
No.
Cerciphilium.
Come again?
Cerciphilium. Katsura.
Oh, well, it doesn't look anything like my Katsura. That's amazing.
There's 2 varieties. There's a miniature variety, which is the one you'd use for bonsai. That's the full size Katsura.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
Yeah, oblate leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's very different to that.
Yeah. Trident group. God knows how many trees are in that. Another trident. You can tell I like tridents. Trident, root over rock. That's Yamamiji. That's birch. That's another small maple. And last but not least, azalea. I'm running out of room in terms of repotting because I've got about another 5 or 6 big trees coming out of the garden going in that are being repotted.
Oh, right.
They'll have to go on the floor. But that's progress so far in terms of repotting.
Oh, that's a few.
Yeah,
Very good.
I'm knackered.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
You got some lovely.
Yeah, coming on.
That's Katsura tree, Ian.
Ah, yeah.
wow, that is.
Very
Yeah, I
different
recognise
to,
the leaf shape.
yeah, it's very, very different to yours.
Yeah. But
Incredible.
the leaf shape is very similar though.
Yeah, yeah. There we go.
Wow.
Good.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed.
I think they're nice trees, but I do find them quite difficult to work on because of the long internodes.
Yes.
Yeah,
The picture there is I tend to clip them before I repot them.
yeah,
And the thing with the Katsura is I've got to take almost right back to hard wood.
yeah. They're very vigorous, and you have to keep
Yes.
taking them back. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But I think the end result can be really good.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's quite a soft triangular image
Mm,
that I end up with.
yeah. If anybody's interested, I think I've got a cutting of mine, a little baby one.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, hold
Yeah,
on.
I like it. I like it as much for the winter image. The
Yeah.
bark on it is a fantastic art.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
Good.
I think you've got a taker for your cutting.
Who was that?
Me.
Oh, you. Okay,
I
Jeff.
said, if you've got one, I'll have one. Yeah. If you've got a spare
It's a
one,
deal.
cheers.
You can have it. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? No. Okay.
No.
Well, thank you, everybody. That's been very helpful. I'm sorry you're so
Wonderful
far away,
session.
Nigel. Sorry? I'm sorry you're so far away, Nigel, but we'll manage without you this time.
Struggle on, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
If we have
Thanks,
to.
Tony.
Okay. Well, look forward to end of the month then.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
have our second one, and which will be closely followed by a day on the Thursday at Guggleton.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good.
I'll
All right.
do a video of my show hens
Right.
and the other big trees.
Okay. I will send Adrian the link. If
Yeah.
you want to go, if you want to go in, ask Aid, and the rest of them, I'll comment and see if
Yeah.
anybody wants them. I know
Yeah,
David
okay.
does, and Ian does.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hey,
Right.
thank you very much.
Thanks
Lovely.
very much. Good
Lovely.
night.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye now.
Hello.
Oh.